Oh, okay, we're live. OBS was being weird for a second. Good morning. Gonna do something a little different today. Well, we're gonna do, I'm on a little bit earlier than normal. I'm gonna do I don't know, 2-3 hour morning session here. However long it takes me to go through some basic, basic results, a little bit of research, get a few more experiments queued up, that sort of thing. And then I've got, some business in the afternoon to attend to. Switch over to the stream here. So the main thing that I have not been able to figure out yet this is a breakout, okay? This is the result of a normal sweep that I ran. So what I can't figure out, right, is why I did this one separately. And I've ran way more experiments here, and for some reason it's not finding this point, and I don't understand why not. Let me just make sure this is not doing something incredibly weird, because OBS keeps showing as, like, going off and on again. Let me just make sure it's not making, like, a million stupid, like, 10-second stream posts. Okay, it just did, yeah, it did the one from before. I think we're good now. We should be good. Hang on, let me just make absolutely sure, because it's doing something weird today. It keeps flashing on and offline, and then we'll get to research. As soon as I'm sure it's not, like, spamming my entire thing. Okay, it's not. This is the same stream. We're good. Okay, so this is the main graph that we care about, right? This is, let me grab Epic Pen. So this curve is supposed to be the cost score Pareto frontier. And then there's going to be another one, which is if we do cost and steps, we're going to get one that looks like this, hopefully. And if we can do this automatically, then we'll be in a really, really good spot, essentially, for all the stuff we need to do from here. So basically my question is, why the hell does this happen, right? And I have today, a chunk of today and a chunk of tomorrow to be here doing research, and then I'm off for a couple of days, and I will be relocating for the season. I mean, the only thing that's really weird about this set of hypers, right, that we found is the really low value function clipping. I think everything else is pretty reasonable, right? It's like, yeah, so like I am sweeping these. I didn't like cut these ones out. I should really be able to figure out, though. What if I do this? I just make graphs of everything. So I'm just gonna try to like make some plots for all of these, and then we're just gonna see if we see you know, if there's any like quirks in the way the sweep is covering the space of hypers. And if that's not so if that doesn't work, I'm gonna expect that there's like some weird thing going on with the machine. And I'm gonna try it on the faster machine to see if there's like some dependence on time. That's what we're gonna do. I just have to make sure this thing's really not messed. One stream, right? Okay. Okay, we already have this one. We already have this one. Honestly, it might be a fun little side project to make my own just like puffer plotting thing that's faster and easier than this. Just I know how much time I would end up spending on that if I did. And like, I don't know. I wonder if I could actually make that like something broadly useful though, right? The only thing I don't know about that, so like let's say I were to just put together a little plotting thing in PufferLib and it would be super fast. Um would it actually be able to like would I actually have a decent way of loading in data if I did that? That's the thing that I don't really know. It would be super fun and cool, but side gig replace Wanby and Neptune with a puffer logging sass. Be funny. All right, so this is everything. I don't even know if this is gonna run at a reasonable. Is this gonna be fast enough? Taking a second. A lot of data. It should go. We'll see. Okay, so here is our full plot of everything. Well, we definitely are getting like parameters that are outside of the expected range, right? In fact, like this is kind of the healthier range here. Oh yeah, this is, wait, V range slash clip coefficient. Did I miss this? Wait. Oh, I didn't even notice that the clip coefficient is that low. Holy. So it's actually... The heck? Are we alive? Okay. I think there's something screwy with my internet today. Hey Jess, welcome. Hopefully the stream is stable enough for me to do like a couple hours today. If not, well, it sucks, but... Yeah, so Jess, I finished my training block, so I get a little bit of rest. So I didn't have to like run and do my whole lifting thing this morning. I get a couple days rest. Right. I mean, this was at least, this was a good finding. So then... I guess the next question is going to be like... If we go to Neptune, right? It's actually like not the case that they all have terrible clip coefs, right? Like, what about this guy? What if I use this one as a reference? Oh, they all are. They're pretty much all like one or the other is screwy though, right? I guess this one is like a stable looking one. It's like slightly lower. What if I do this one? We just like look through hypers here. Yeah, so this one doesn't even have any weird hypers, right? This one actually has like pretty normal hypers. And this one is same mini batch size. Same policy size. Same num-ems. Isn't that, like, super weird, though? Okay, let me set something up real quick, right? Let me set something up. Um, First of all, I forget what it was that I ran here. I ran, like, some experiment on this, right? I think it was, like, some Pong thing. Okay, yeah, I ran this, like, this little Pong sweep, and we actually get some cool results out of this, right? Yeah, yeah, we got some really nice results out of this, which is... Oh, yeah, this is the Pareto frontier we wanted, right? This is... Look at this. So we actually get it under a 3-second solve with 2 million steps. I think that's including frame skip. Or you can spend 20 seconds and do it with 1.5 million steps, right? So this is... I mean, we're investigating, like, totally the wrong ranges here, I think. But, like, this is the Pareto front right here. You see? This is the curve that we want. So we did all the experiments over here, but we have what we need. So do I just do this same thing? Oops. All right, so we have this thing. And then what do we do with this? Okay, so you tried this, that's fine. This didn't work. And then nothing important. So I think that literally all we want to do with this is we just want to run multi-sweep on this. Yeah. So we're gonna run basic multi-sweep on this. Hello, FBR, welcome. All right, so we're gonna run this on that node. This would actually kind of suck if this were the case, right? Ooh, Kinvert sent us a really cool env. Look at this. This looks like a hack of the drone env, but it looks really cool. Holy. That's fun. Okay, so next thing here. That actually seems really bad if we have things that get screwed up depending on the machine, right? I'm gonna want to look into that in more detail. Let me use the restroom real quick. Be back in a couple minutes. Hello, Soul. Welcome. Hey, Kinvert. Taking French toast. Nah, the steak was good. The French toast was like cut way too thick. But at the very least, I no longer feel absolutely terrible all the time. Let me read. Jess sent me a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Better a chess engine or player is more likely the game is to be a draw. More draws doesn't mean the player is better. Yeah, that's Elo. Yeah, that's the problem with this whole thing. Like the problem with self-play Jess is actually like it's not even about the dynamics most of the time. It's just measuring stuff is a pain because yeah, you have to do elo. I mean, at least now you have the like at least now you understand the thing about it, right? We have code in there somewhere, Jess. Like there's this old elo code thing that I worked on. It's kind of a pain. If I sweep too long, they find hacks rather than flying better. Yeah, so then you need to patch hacks because like your end should not have hacks in it. Welcome, Parko. This is the key mystery, I think, right now. The key mystery I'm trying to figure out is why I ran like the traditional single node sweep on the fast machine and I get like a bunch of solves that look like this. And then when I run a huge sweep on the slower machines, I get like this clean curve that seems to match, but I don't actually get solves before the competition ends. That's why, invert, I've never done a hackathon. I hate being under time pressure for just about anything. How's the world of RL doing? We've got science going. I mean, all the stuff I'm working on and that I've been doing in the last week is kind of just a bonus, right? So, like, I mostly was here over the summer for business. I got one good block of research with a really cool result out of it. I started on this a little bit early, and, like, we got at least some business done as well. I hit, I, like, smashed all the fitness goals as well, so pretty darn good productive summer. This stuff is just a bonus. Like this is gonna get started in earnest in a week or two when I'm back at the farm. I'm just trying to figure out if like, you know, before then I can at least get some understanding about how this stuff should look. I almost am wondering if there's like some cost differential bullshit going on, right? Ask a few questions. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main reason it's the main reason I stream, right? So people can ask stuff live. Research block look like? It's mostly this type of stuff, like science of RL. We want to have a very good understanding of this. Depends what it is then, Parco. But yeah, you can ask. I'm not gonna go nuts for you asking questions. uh, it's so pretty much, yes, we want to be able to understand the cost, like the compute to data trade-off in RL generally, as well as like intrinsic environment difficulty, model size scaling, stable hyperparameter regions, all this type of stuff. Genetic algorithms. Ooh, actually, so Parco, the A Life conference is next week. It's in like Kyoto. I would just like go look up stuff that's at A Life and like look up the labs that are producing that work. Yeah, what you should do is you should go get familiar with the literature and then like try to get contacts in labs that are doing work you're interested in. Yeah, A Life, one word, artificial life. It's a conference that's devoted to a lot of stuff around that artificial life. There's lots of genetic alg type stuff. But like you kind of just have to get familiar with the research space, right? Because labs are just publishing research, and the way that you figure out what labs are doing stuff you care about is just by being familiar with the research space. And Ernest answered that, I mean, evolutionary algorithms they're really cool. It's just like nobody's found a good way to scale them at all, right? So like in my mind, there's not like there is nowhere near as clear of a like how do we make evolutionary algorithms generally useful for learning? Like there's no clear way that we do that compared to how there is one for RL. Like technically what you're looking at right now has like very mild genetic algorithm inspiration, right? Like this Pareto optimal search is a form of genetic algorithm with extra stuff built into it. But yeah, Parco, I if you're asking about PhD programs, if you're in like undergrad or masters or something like that at the moment, it's you really want to just get very familiar with the research space. Like the best way to if you really want to do a PhD, then like the way that you do a PhD is by like having already done half of a PhD before you get there. And Alpha Evolve, honestly, still haven't looked through all of it. Like language model stuff. Kyoto's great. Well, that's just where the conference is. I don't know. You could try to like, you could try to go like get yourself a registration and like go there last minute if you can afford to do so. Like, um, you can also just like try to figure out the what's being presented there and see like who you can get in contact with. Masters in data science. Okay, cool. I mean, the thing is, the world's a big place. There are labs doing lots of crazy things, right? Masters is not enough. Um, it's more the research experience that, rather than the specific credentials, right? How much time have you like spent really deeply thinking about a specific research topic and getting to know stuff in that space and like doing your own primary work? Trying to fit an explanation to this. Let's say that across the board here, right? I guess it's technically possible with this that like maybe across the board, the 4090s are just like several times slower, and that like skews our sampling because we do actually sample points based on projected cost. So that actually could change the results of a sweep from machine to machine. I thought we normalized it though. In algorithms for 8 months. Need some guidance. I mean, it's pretty easy to just get involved with like a lot of the research that's out there. Like professors can sometimes be hard to get a hold of, but their students are usually really easy to get a hold of. Yeah, gen algos are fun. It's just nobody's figured out a way to scale them to more than a couple thousand params. You're about the only expert I know these days. Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing, right? Like, there are not that many researchers that are just streaming all their work. It is. Now, science can be very isolating. You kind of either need to, like, be the type that enjoys that at least to some extent, or you need to get yourself involved with, like, a larger group of people who are actually smart and that you respect, which can be hard to find. Channel got taken down. You should not be having your channel taken down streaming research. Welcome, Gosh. What's going on here? We should have, like, at least a few data points, shouldn't we? Yeah, there are all sorts of experiments. What's going on here? Chrome ad showed adult... Or what? Is that, like, region-based? I don't think I've ever gotten, like a Chrome ad with, like, adult content on any normal sites. Like, I Live Kyoto. I think it's, like, in a week or two, though. So, go take a look at that. Taking me 3 days to get a working attention model, 550K params with 4 agents. Oh, hey, FBR, a useful data point would be, how fast can you get a model like that to run? Korea sounded like a global thing. Well, I mean, Parco, like, I think ads are region based, and at least in the US, like, normal websites don't show adult ads. Like, that's not a thing. Practice in doing science. Yeah. Education is generally just rough in general, Jess. Like, there's very, very little good educational content, and like really good content can let you learn things very quickly, but the vast majority of content, it's just like it's oftentimes not even like if you're a smart person, um, and you've learned to teach yourself many things, like bad course content or like mediocre course content can be less useful than just spending your time figuring stuff out yourself. 10K SPS, that's awful. Uploading videos to prevent unwanted content. Wait, is that a thing in Korea that just like randomly you get adult ads everywhere? That's nuts. That's crazy. Based on my profile, I see. That's like so dumb. The fact that like you can actually use that targeted is like so stupid. I don't understand how the hell we still have all this streaming sites are just this prude where it's like, oops, clearly didn't mean to show that. Like still like take channels down is ridiculous. It's good, yeah. $108 observations per agent. That's not a lot of observations, man. Did I mess up with this? Oh, dummy. Let's see. What is wrong with this? This is the port for this, isn't it? Just read papers. Yeah. Research, work now, medical. That's cool. I mean, that the thing is like that is just how you learn to do this, Jess, right? It's like, okay, I did like my undergrad at Stanford and then I went to MIT. Sure, I have like the credentials or whatever, but like how do you think I actually did research? Do you think that there's just like a like how to do research 101 for dummies that you take and then like how to do research like 202 for slightly less dummies? Like no, man. You just like you sit in your room, you start reading papers and like you start piecing stuff together and you do that for a very long time and then you like try to implement some existing things and then you try to like make some changes and make your own things. Like that's the process of learning, right? Okay, so this is at least running. It's not doing anything super substantial yet. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else stupid I could have just messed up with this. This was frame skip at, hang on, 40 million steps, right? Frame skip 1, right? Yeah, frame skip is 1, 40 million steps. So this is like, this is just one of the ones, for example, that we have. Right? Like this is a very clean curve. We have 20 different runs out of 200 that were able to get this. So it's like it should be very consistent. It looks for all the world like just a normal hyperparameter sweep. How much stuff did I actually sweep? It looks like I didn't sweep the policy size. Mini batches? No. No update epochs thing here either. There's literally not even an update epochs thing here at all. So, I mean, I guess it is true that the sweep is slightly differently set up. It repros though. We did sweep mini batch. World, what? Check, my normal breakfast place is closed for Rosh Hashanah. Apparently, so is the backup place. Lovely. Well, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to get myself food in a bit. Can Rust be used for RL? You can. I personally do not recommend it. We do all our simulator, all our sim code is in C. This thing just bothers me. Like, why is this happening? If I can just fix this problem, then pretty much everything just starts to make sense, right? Sure thing, Parko. Fast and safe, not that safe. Yeah, but like, what does that mean? Okay, so if you're doing a bunch of memory management and you don't want to forget to free stuff, then like Rust prevents you from doing that. The cost of that is it completely changes the way that you have to write your code. Okay, so if we just allocate all our memory at the start and then clean up everything when the program closes, there's no memory management to deal with, right? Okay, and that's what you're going to do anyways for high performing sims. So like literally you just have a bloated language that gets in your way to solve a problem that you don't even have. C is dramatically simpler, and like Rust literally gets in your way to solve problems that you don't even have. How much faster is C compared to Python? Uh, it can literally be 1,000 times faster, just straight up. And the thing that's obnoxious, right, is to make stuff even like passably okay fast in Python, you have to do all sorts of stupid complicated stuff where like you can just write stuff in the simplest way possible in C and it's just going to be fast. And like obviously if you want to optimize from there, there's lots of stuff you can do, but like just the simplest possible thing that you can do in C is usually just going to be fast. Yeah, I don't know. I really do not like Rust as a programming language. I can understand it for like some like embedded systems dev, but for the type of stuff I do, it's just like not good. Writing hyper sims not covered in your guide. I mean, honestly, it's just a matter of like write something simple, then write something slightly more complicated, and you go from there. Just do incrementally more difficult projects. C will come in handy. C is just like, honestly, simple low-level development skills are just so nice. Because, okay, if you know C, you know CUDA. Right? Okay, if you know C, which is literally just like basic programming, you can make pretty much anything out there. You can just like rewrite it in a tenth of the amount of code or less, and it'll be faster. It's like this crazy thing where it's actually very, very simple and very easy to learn, but just nobody knows it and everybody complicates the hell out of everything. So it kind of feels like a superpower in some ways. It's like a lost art. Golang, it's like fine, I guess. I'd probably rather write that than C++, but like, yeah. I don't know. I know some guys that are like really into Nim, which is also, it seems like, decent. Repeated of convert Python to C. Yeah, don't do that. Just learn C. Like it's not hard is the thing. Like yes, there's few things that you need to understand about basic systems, but like it's not like C is a harder language than Python. It like that's not a thing, right? Language are not ordered by difficulty. Well, okay, some are because some just get in your way for no reason, but C definitely doesn't. I still don't know why this happens. I've been sitting here thinking about this the whole time, and I'm still not sure like what the heck is happening with this. This like it's like I almost just don't see how this could possibly be how this could possibly be different, right? Because I'm like literally running the same sweep. I mean, I guess it's like possible I broke something totally different, right? Yeah, Parko. Here, while I'm here, I may as well just figure out 512 by 64, right? And how many batches is 8? I mean, there's almost nothing left for it to possibly do, right? Oh, well, this is screwy, right? Why is it doing this? It's doing the thing where it's stuck at like the super low cost solutions, I suppose. That's dumb. Yeah, it's doing this stuff over here, right? Hmm. Okay, well that could very well be like a susceptibility of the core algorithm. It's literally built to avoid this though. Like this was one of the key things in the algorithm was to avoid this. That is the evidence that I needed, isn't it? So it's that somehow. Well, how the heck would this be the case though? It really, I've seen this happen before, but it shouldn't be possible. So it's a log. Yeah, it's a normed log, right? Okay. You generate a ton of points like this. Oh. Well, you're an idiot, that's why. Man, this is why you don't... Alright, this is... Yeah, it's... Um... Alright. Well, that's a way to waste a whole bunch of time. I guess I didn't spend that much time thinking about this, but... Stupid. I'd forgotten that I'd hard-coded this. This is why, like... The thing is, this would have been totally fine if I'd, like, run this experiment and then come back to it, like, immediately. But I think I, like, did this, and I went into SF or, like, took a bunch of meetings, and then I got, like, distracted. So, yeah, of course this doesn't frickin' work. I'm surprised it worked as well as it even did. We're gonna leave this alone for a bit. We should be fine. This is, like, the best possible outcome in some ways. Okay, let me use the restroom again real quick. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna think about some stuff for a bit. We'll go figure out a few things, planning wise for what's next. And then I'm probably gonna go take myself to a nice brunch somewhere. Because I'm only in Palo Alto for a couple more days and damn well plan on enjoying it. Be right back. Alright. So, let's fix this so I never do this dumb thing again. And like literally, look, I was on the wrong machine, so I still started this thing wrong. It's fine. Alright, so the way we are going to do this args of sweep. Cool. Okay, so I guess the question is, do I or do I not want to make myself a fancy plotting interface? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I could get an LLM to just prototype. I mean, I always know not to do that, but still. There's like a quick test. Curious now? Well, Let's just see. Oops. Why does this not autocomplete anything? That's weird. Wrong browser. Let's see if this actually does this. I mean, I do kind of have like a 5 or 6 hour plane flight. Plane flight, yeah. I got a 5 or 6 hour flight that I could like hack on. It would be nice to hack on something self-contained. So I guess technically, even though it's kind of silly to like spend a bunch of work time on this at the moment, like I'm going to have a bunch of time to work on other stuff when I'm like basically monitoring all the experiments for the science stuff once I get them stable. And having like a really cool way to present the data is not a terrible idea, especially given like literally this thing that I'm doing now is already starting to lag. New grok, like no idea. I generally just assume all language models are bad at everything until proven otherwise. Oops. This thing is not set up linking anything correctly. That is super annoying. Uh, this actually looks... This looks like it should work, doesn't it? Oh no, you're dumb. Hang on. Yeah, I have these ordered wrong. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Hmm? What'd I do? I don't understand how... Just decides not to link anything. It's a single file, my guy. Well, no, we're not parsing the JSON with Python and having to set up bindings. That's ass. I should just be able to include yeah. Is there like extra flags for this crap? Is it like using some other stuff I'm not realizing? Wait, I don't need... I shouldn't need the .c, should I? What's even in the .c? I thought it's header only. Oh, what the hell? It has... It's supposed to be header only. What even is this mess? Why does this thing have a 3000 line .c file? Okay, well this thing is just still... I don't understand what the hell. Somebody did this. I think this is like a newbie project, right? Honestly, not bad though. Ooh. Okay, people have used this for like scientific viz before as well. Look at this. Honestly, pretty sweet. With UI as well. I'll use the CPP. Why would you use the frickin' CPP bindings? Yeah, right, GUI. I mean, this is definitely doable though, right? Like, if I'm thinking about it, am I crazy to think that this is probably like the best thing we could possibly do for Viz? Is to just have like some basic thing like this? Alright, enough of that, Jess. Hello, Joseph. Get honest work, genuine interest, and share my appreciation. Thank you very much. Hey, don't be a stranger, right? We have all the we've got all this stuff in the Discord. We got lots of helpful people in there if you're looking to learn more in RL. We genuinely have people now in the Discord who are contributing to cutting edge research who got in with no experience like a year ago. Takes a little bit of work, but we're making it easier every day. Is there a reason to do CSV versus JSON? Guy just did his own, didn't he? Basically faster to parse. I mean, this library is like... this is a header only, but this is kind of chunky. Oh, no wonder this didn't work. It's not header only. It's like... I hate it when people do that. If I didn't have to use this, this would actually be... It would be better if I didn't have to mess with this thing, right? Yeah, so people just do custom stuff. How are we doing with, this now? Yeah, this is so freaking slow. Okay. I guess it makes sense then that we do a dashboard. Huh. Look at this. Instantly, we're starting to get better data. Instantly. Alright, that was really dumb. This will find us some good data points. You're using AI now? Not really, Dark. Ban in Turkey? Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing. Yeah, that's kind of insane. Is X also banned in Turkey? I mean, a lot of my other content is on there. And a lot of, like, the users will just reply to stuff on there as well. Ignore the random fitness article. Okay, like, you know, like, there's a lot of content on here as well. This guide in particular. Okay, awesome. Yeah, like, in general, there's just a lot of people that are doing stuff with PufferLib floating around. And, you know, you can always ask me stuff on stream, right? But, like, there are, like, when I'm not there are a lot of other people and users, right, that can help you with a lot of different stuff on this, right? Most of the people that are getting into RL around here, I don't know your specific background, right? Most of the people who are newer are just like, they start by building some simple environments and getting RL to work, and then they move on to harder projects. People with like a little bit more background, maybe they try to like do something in like a different domain of science with RL. There are a lot of different things. It's a Billy. I mean, it hadn't even occurred to me having like countrywide bans for, like, what do people even use then? It's kind of crazy to have Discord of all things be banned. Like, Discord's literally, it's literally like a gaming, it's like a freaking gaming server thing, right? That's how it started, at least. And Dark, no, I'm not, like, I'm literally using this for, I mean, you'll see what I was using this for. I was just trying to get a runnable example that I could build on. I'm going to end up deleting all this code anyways. Using Xfire. That's like, that is super messed up. I didn't realize any country had banned Discord. That's crazy. Oh, actually, no, wait, Discord's a thing in China, isn't it? Or is it banned there too? You know? Funny you mention that. Where's this? Oh, I missed this. Same railway, simple custom 2D multi-agent N. Same self-supervised. Oh, yeah, okay. We have a lot of people that have done adjacent stuff to that, Aya. I was at OpenAI right before they started that as well. There's like, there is a version, I think, of that that's like really unpolished. Yeah, you can definitely make that type of stuff work really fast in Puffer. Touch grass. I don't think I so much touch grass as much as I do a large amount of running over grass. Alright, so this is just me messing up PufferLib somehow, right? uh, funny. KD trees for agent vision. Wait, KD trees for agent's vision. FBR, have you just tried doing naive raycasts and seeing how slow it is if you do like decently coarse raycasts? Like, you only need a few whiskers, right? How often do you stream live coding? Is it a daily thing? I generally stream all of my research. So it kind of depends on what I'm doing. Generally, like, I'll have blocks of a few weeks at a time where I do like a full project on a pretty like consistent schedule. And then like right now, for instance, right, I've been finishing up some business. I got to do some stuff later in the afternoon for that. I'm traveling for the next few days, and then like it's going to take me a bit after that to get back to the farm because I'm like moving for the season. And then probably once I get there, I'm going to like start doing this stuff a lot more heavily. So then I'll probably be doing like 40, 50 hours a week worth of streams until I solve this problem. And then I chill for a little bit and I like figure out the next thing. So I'm pretty much always around. The specific schedule is subject to the project I'm currently doing. But yeah, I mean, all the VODs are on YouTube. I've got like 500 streams worth of VODs so far. Aren't the streams distracting? Yes and no. They kind of are, but then also if I'm not streaming, I tend to space out a lot. So I think it balances out. Plus, this is like a good way for me to get people involved with the RL and get people support. Like when I end up being more intently focused on like heavy dev, you'll just see I get quieter and I don't answer as much stuff from the chat. I should try to implement search. Um, the thing is, the only thing you would do search for, Jess, would be like having a baseline opponent to play against. You wouldn't do it for the agent. Like, I think that the thing that would be really cool is if we could just get like a clean, fast version of chess where we get like a pretty good agent without using search. That would be awesome. Like, just do pure RL and get like get something that smokes me at chess that just trains on your laptop. That'd be awesome. And I am terrible at chess, for the record. I'm terrible at all games. I'm actually confused as to why this doesn't work now. Oh, wait. Is it? Does this make a difference? Is it like for installed packages versus... No, I'm dumb. Alright, that doesn't do it. Whoops, let me miss a message. Can you give a quick starting point for doing self-supervised auto curriculum for training 2 adversarial policies? Okay, so there are a few different things here. So self-supervised auto curricula type stuff is just you make an environment that requires learning that, and you make it fast, and that's it. Just any of the custom environment guide stuff that I have, you can do that for it. The thing for adversarial self-play that's a bit annoying is you have to do ELO type stuff. We have several different people trying to build better things to do this right now around Puffer. You can do it. It will run out of the box. But the thing is, like, if you don't have a fixed difficulty opponent to evaluate against, you're not actually going to know whether your thing is improving or not. So it's usually decent to have, like, a scripted opponent of some variety, even if it's random, just as a sanity check, and then to go from there. Kevin, let's see. I thought one canonical result from AlphaGo that you need search to significantly reduce the scale. Not pass. Well, do you think that I trust that because they couldn't do it that it's not possible? Like, no, not at all, right? Math is the wall I'm hitting in my first year. Gosh, check out my guides then, because like there's some math to what I do, but I think of all of the resources out there, my stuff is going to be the most heavily reliant on engineering over math. Like when I'm doing my own research, my playbook is 85% engineering, 10% basic science, 5% stumbling through math to the best of my ability. Like math is the weakest part of my toolkit. And definitely don't ask me to do any stats. No, not on YouTube. It's right there on X. So if you check X, um, I have all sorts of articles on here. You know, this is like research. We've got like some like high level stuff, but then we've also got guides, right? Like this is like a pretty well read guide. And this has all of my best advice. And it has links to everything else that you need. If you kind of just look around through my content, everything is there. Yeah, and then I do the occasional fitness, the occasional fitness article, but everything else is just pure technical. OpenAI has stats interviews though. When I went there, they had a very good interview process. The interview process was you go present your research to the entire company, and then you go and talk to a bunch of their researchers one on one for an hour apiece, and you talk about research, right? You very quickly get a sense of whether somebody knows how to do research. There's not one path to like being a successful researcher. It's not like, oh, you're bad at stats, so you can't do research, right? That would be like me saying, like, oh, hey, John Schulman, you're bad at engineering, so you can't do research, right? Like, that guy writes some freaking horrible code, and he's probably the single best algorithmic contributor to the field. It's about leveraging your strengths in a way that's unique and that hasn't been, like, that nobody else can do. I say as I fail to compile Basic C. All right, this is just like some dumb linking thing, though, right? Like, what the heck did I possibly do? Just miss something? Alright, well, this is super freaking obnoxious, so I'm just gonna do it this way. Alright, no remote rendering on this thing. Right. I'll be able to get that set up on my laptop to play with. We'll see whether that ends up being a useful idea or not. But I've managed to stall long enough that this thing should have generated some data, right? Super slowly. This is why I started messing with that in the first place. How slow this dumb thing is. And yeah, there we go. So we already have an 847. This is our original solve. Um, we actually totally should be able to run something way more substantial now, right? I don't know where you heard that from, Kevin. Okay, so given that we know that this works, Like, I'm happy with this as evidence of this as well. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to keep all this data. We're not going to, like, do a fresh run or anything yet, but I want to see how much this front gets pushed, basically. And I think that the way that we do this, do we want this at frame skip 1? I think what we wanted to do, right, was like, yeah, so this is like a way more flexible sweep, right? Y'all are nuts. All right. Whoops. And this is actually supposed to be Pareto sweep. We'll see what that does. And I also posted I posted this, the fitness article as well from the summer. And I'm pretty proud of this. Where's the running block? So this was the heaviest week of this was the last like end of cut week. So 46-mile peak week, up from 30. And this was intentional. No long run on the first week. So like no runs missed for a 6-week training block. 250 total miles. PR'd my 10K time on a very hard course on like a psychotic cut as well. Didn't lose any strength. Yeah, this thing is done now. And I'll come up with fun new things to do. I'm glad to have that done. The last couple weeks, if you noticed on stream, I was just freaking exhausted. And yeah, it was from that. You look massive in the article. The webcam angle is deceiving. If anything, I think I look better in person than with the webcam. Like, I didn't have the camera at any weird angle. I literally had the camera in basically the same spot that I always do, right? I'm not doing mini posing show or anything at the moment, but that's raw unedited, like that is raw unedited footage and pictures in like mediocre lighting as well. Am I even allowed to do that, FBI? I don't think I'm even allowed to do that. I think Twitch has like some prude thing about that. Now, the only thing that there will be is once I get back to the farm, there will be um intermittent training throughout the day. Heh, funny. Yeah. No, I intended that article to be like not like Instagram totally fake photo that doesn't match anything. That was like I didn't peak for that, right? That was just the end of the training block, no peaking, no editing, like pretty mediocre lighting. I literally just took my ring light and that's all I used, and like shitty phone camera. Like literally you can just actually should I can I do that real quick? Let me think. Do I still have it in shotcut? Here, let me just show you real quick um how utterly stupid editing is. I didn't even realize it was this bad. Hang on. Uh, I don't get banned for. Here's the frickin' back one. I don't get banned for. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so literally, watch this. This is how stupid editing is. You see? That's how frickin' stupid editing is. That's why I posted the raws. Because you can basically make shit look like anything you want. Right? That's nuts, right? Yeah, literally all I did is I like super basic color grading. It's just like you tan yourself 4 shades and then suddenly everything looks twice as good. That's why I posted the raws because otherwise it's like it's just stupid. Now the one thing I think that you could do that's like the thing is a shitty phone camera is actually going to make you look worse than you look in person. So if I at least had like my normal streaming camera, like that camera actually would be like that one would be pretty 1-to-1 with in person. But the shitty phone camera kind of just blurs everything out. There you go. Okay, so there other stuff I can do with this. Right, yeah, there are a couple other things I can do with this. Lar. Yeah, yeah. So I have I got actually I don't think you've ever seen me at the old facility or the not the old facility, the main facility, right? I think you joined more recently than that, right? I have a way better setup there. This is kind of just like the jank setup. And first you've gotten I mean, I've been doing ML for a long time, Jess. I've literally been doing it since high school. So I mean, I was just like looking at fields of science to pursue, and like ML was the really cool one. I was super freaking clumsy with lab equipment back then, and like computational stuff seemed cool. Yeah, you'll see the main facility is a lot of fun, and it's like super convenient as well. I get longer work hours in because I kind of just get to do a lot of my exercise throughout the day. Okay, so I have on TinyPuff 0, I have this. I need to do this one here. Uh, I don't know. The weather is probably cold. That's why in the dead of winter I go to Florida. I kind of travel around seasonally. This was Breakout. Oh no, this was like freaking Pong being. Tuesday. No, my family has a couple different places that I crash at. I think the next thing I want to do with this, let's do. Let's do from like 1e5 to like 2e6. Do this. All right, now we've got a lot of boxes worth of experiments going. good. Good as well. We got 13 GPUs worth of experiments going. Let me figure out what's going on with this thing real quick. Thought that I had this over. No XAuth using fake for X11 forwarding. Oh, okay. Is there a container thing? Wait. Ah, I see. Hang on. Wrong authentication. What happened here? I know Python, don't understand anything you're doing. Uh, I mean, C is a very simple language. You really just need to learn a little bit about how your operating system works, how computers actually work, right? Allocation of memory and such. It's just a little lower to the, it's like a little closer to the hardware is all. But once you understand that, it's a very simple programming language after that. So to be fair, most of what I've been doing here has just been me editing configs in Python, like Python and configs. The C environment, like the C plot stuff is going to be different. What is this thing? I don't understand what this warning is. I gotta get brunch soon. Oh, I think there's some Docker stuff that needs to be done. Yeah, I think there's some small Docker stuff that needs to be done. That's fine. I'll set this type of stuff up on my laptop most likely anyways. How would we know which episode we're on? What do you mean which episode? You'd have to add that, like, you'd have to log or track that separately. Let me go through all three of these again. Okay, so we do this one. Make it a little faster. We don't need all this stuff. Need this top level thing, really. This. You have to track it, convert. There's like nothing built in to say like what is the index of the episode you're on. Okay, cool. So this is actually the errored one, right? Yeah, because it's like it's stuck here. Okay. So let's just then do okay, cool. So here's all our Pong data. And actually what we just need this to be steps and scores. Why the heck is this way out here? Why the heck do we have something at 700? This gotta be like outliers, fine. You just go over like this, right? Yeah, cool. So the goal is this will get filled in as well, and we'll have nice frontiers for everything. All right. So at the very least, we fixed some of the major issues, and as long as I remember to like do just a tiny little bit of checking on these things over the next few days, we should be able to get to ourselves to a spot where we have like a really nice clean set of experiments for Pong and Breakout. And if we have that before I am out of California, then we should be in a very good spot to do all the follow-up analysis. It's noon. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go find myself a nice brunch somewhere, and then I'm gonna do. I got some business stuff to take care of in the afternoon. I might do some stuff later in the evening. I might just start packing. We will see. But for folks who've been tuning in, thank you for watching. All my stuff's at puffer.ai. You can star the GitHub to help me out for free, and you can join the Discord to get involved with development. All my content is on X as well.